The first time players get to use the powers of hell against themselves. They get to fight fire with fire. It's absolutely turning the tables on hell. Hell yeah.
Hello, I am Lewis Barton, gaming content creator at All Out Gaming, and today I'm sat down with Zavin. We're going to be talking all things Lord of Hatred. Obviously, you're going to be very excited about this.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
The biggest thing is probably the new class, the Warlock. It's a big moment for the series, I think, for the game. So what made now the right time to bring the Warlock class to Diablo?
Yeah, so, as we've been kind of talking about this, we know that our players, a significant portion of our audience, right? They really like the Paladin. We hear you. We know they want a Paladin. But we also know there's a lot of other people that they don't want a Paladin, they kind of wanted something fresh. And, we talked a lot of like, well, maybe there's like some spin we could do, and everything just sort of felt like a compromise. And so what we wanted to do is say, like, look, our players are telling us very clearly what they want, and they are not in alignment. There's two very disparate groups of people that are wanting different things. So we don't want to pick. We want to make sure that they get what it is that they're asking for. So that was kind of the idea. It was like, okay, well, Paladin for sure, then what's this other one if we know we're going to do something new? And we kind of looked at it from a perspective of we have a really cool opportunity here to dig deep into the core of the franchise, right? Diablo is explicitly angels and demons fighting out this eternal conflict and humanity stuck in the center. And so having the Paladin be one side of that coin and the Warlock being the other side of that coin, it was perfect. On top of that, there's nothing honestly more, Diablo, it just fits. It just feels like, why have we not had this class yet? It just felt like such a slam dunk, and even from the earliest prototypes, everything was feeling so good. So Warlock, hell yeah.
The ability to bind the demon is something which I'm really looking forward to, and I've not played the game yet, but obviously you have, I guess, countless times. So
yeah.
What would you say you're looking forward to players finding out the most with the Warlock?
It's got a bit more of a setup sort of thing. So we kind of considered it as if you're a player who really likes to dig into all the crazy interactions you can do across your skills, this class is absolutely for you. The amount of kind of setups you can do for yourself, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to be able to do this other thing after, is a very wide part of this class. We considered a higher complexity class than some of our other ones. So for people who are looking for something crunchier, I think the Warlock's going to be the one. Thematically, just the idea that I can throw demons at stuff and have them explode, right? We've kind of thought about this in the sense of, when we think about the Lords of Hell, they sort of look at humanity as disposable meat. They don't care. The Warlock has that same perspective over demons, right? These aren't their friends, it's not their pets, it's not their familiar. It's like, I need that thing to explode, so I'm gonna summon some fallen lunatics and they're gonna go over there and they're gonna explode for me. And that's how I'm gonna take that thing out. So they have a very callous attitude towards demon kind, right? Because of their history. So
the Warlock isn't just coming to Diablo 4, it's coming to Diablo 2 and Diablo Immortal. Yep. I feel like everyone has a different idea of what the Warlock is, so what makes the Warlock class in Lord of Hatred different from Diablo 2 and Diablo Immortal?
I would say they are the least restrained in kind of how far they're willing to go into hell to take what they need, to take what they want. We kind of talk about the Diablo 2 Resurrect Warlock as, just starting their journey. From their perspective, everything is forbidden. It's even something maybe they don't feel comfortable doing. You go into Immortal, they start kind of loosening up a little bit. Okay, I'm willing to do more of these things. By the time we get to Diablo 4, there's no limits, right? They're willing to do whatever they can. They're more than willing to sacrifice their own humanity for the sake of Sanctuary, right? They're fully bought in at that point. So we just kind of see this escalation of, prior to Diablo 2's Warlock, it's a very forbidden magic, right? Like, people send out assassins to kill any mage who would do this sort of thing, right? So people are terrified of even touching this stuff. And then we just kind of slowly see this getting ramped up as the situation in Sanctuary gets more desperate, right, over the course of the games.
Do you think this opens the gate for more classes to be added in the future?
Oh, well, the one thing we can commit to is after Lord of Hatred is released, we're trying our best, we always do, and then the community always surprises us with the crazy combinations they find. So the very least we can commit to right now is saying, yeah, Warlock's gonna be out and we're gonna be supporting it. If there's something that's bad or wrong, we're gonna make it better. If there's something that's too weak or too strong, we'll address it. Whatever we feel like the community really needs for this to be a successful class, we're willing to do and we're happy to do. You know, we have warlocks, you know, it's not like warlocks are only in Diablo, lots of games have stuff like this. And then we also have multiple classes that touch on, you know, pets and summons and things like that. So trying to make sure we carve out a space that is very distinct from classes like Druid and classes like Necromancer was really important. We really did not want this to just feel like, oh, it's like a Necromancer, right, but red. It's like, no, they play very differently. The way they use their demons is very different compared to any of the other classes that have summons. That was the first and biggest hurdle, I think, for us to really overcome, is to say like, hey, we need to solve this now before we're in too deep and we find ourselves with, oh, it's just Army Mancer or something like that again.
From what I've seen so far, one of my favorite additions coming to Lord of Hatred is the expanded world of Skovos. It looks visually beautiful, and I just wanted to know what was the inspiration behind making this expansion?
You know, I'm gonna speak very personally for this one. When I first joined the Diablo team a long time ago, every time I was gonna be walking over to my desk, there was a framed painting of Skovos, very old concept art, and I would just stare at this thing every time I was walking down the hall. And this is me very early in my career. And then when we had the opportunity, I was like, of course, Skovos. You know, I've been playing Diablo from the very beginning. I've read all the manuals. Skovos has mentioned all that stuff, including the Amazon class in Diablo 2. I've been excited to go. We've never been able to go. And then the other thing is, in Diablo 4, we have the Eastern continent, you know, Estuar at this point fully mapped out. And we knew we were gonna go somewhere. And because we spend a lot of time touching on topics and even going to places where we have been before, including, right, in Nahantu, right, it's a place we've visited before, it felt just right for this next chapter to be somewhere we've never seen. And then thematically, it hits again right at the heart of everything, right? This is an ancient culture. They know the truth about man's origins. They know about angels and demons. You see that stuff all over their architecture. So again, going right back to that very core, this is about angels and demons, humanity stuck in the center. It's about the creation of Sanctuary with Lilith and Inarius and all that stuff.
And there's also quite a few quality of life changes coming to Lord of Hatred. I think the biggest one for me is the expanded skill tree. So could you just go into some more detail about the new skill tree for me, like what's been added and what's the customization like now compared to before?
Previously, you'd have, you know, you can dump points into the skill, you can raise the rank, you could do kind of a guaranteed upgrade, and then you'd have sort of one of three choices. And by and large, this was most of the skills. The ultimates didn't have that level of customization. So now we said, okay, all skills are basically equal participants in this. So anything that we're talking about here applies equally to all the skills. It doesn't matter if they're basic skills, doesn't matter if they're ultimates, all the skills get this. And so what we wanted to do is add far more granularity and decision-making in the tree itself, as opposed to customization only via legendary items or uniques or whatever, right? So the idea here is now every skill has multiple sets of exclusive choices. And you can actually get itemization that unlocks additional choices on top of this, by the way. So it's not, you're not just stuck in that one lane either. But it also means that when you first start playing the game, and you're getting skill points, you have interesting choices to make within the first few levels, right? What you want to do to, you know, bash on a barbarian, you have options now, and those options grow as you have, you know, more items and stuff coming in and as you get deeper in the tree.
When developing a game, community feedback is so important. So how important was listening to the community to help make your choices?
I mean, everyone called it a skill twig, and we agreed. You know, I've said this to a bunch of people in the past, like anything that the community says, like we play the game, we feel it, we say the same things, right? Like the moment people started joking about that, that was also inside the walls of Blizzard, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do about this? It totally is a twig. How do we make this better? And so we absolutely do listen. We read, we play alongside folks. You know, next time you're in a Helltide, realize that there might actually just be a Blizzard employee next to you, you know, killing demons and summoning the succubus and things like that.
Millions of people are going to be looking forward to playing the Warlock class. So in just one sentence, can you say something about the Warlock that will get players excited?
I think the Warlock is the first time players get to use the powers of hell against themselves. They get to fight fire with fire. I think there's nothing cooler than that. It's absolutely turning the tables on hell.
So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like what you saw today, please leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe to All Out Gaming for more content like this in the future.